Dude, this is not a day for birds. There we go, that's better. Oh, I can't escape them. These stupid birds. Welcome to the Gaming Galleon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Rez. For 4 long years now, I've been showing the adventures to you of a brave pirate ship that sails not just the 7 seas, but the Silicon Seas. What does that mean? That means every week, every episode, every voyage, we take you to some exotic location. It could be out in the stratosphere, or it could be in your neighbor's backyard. You're never really sure. And that's what's great about it. It's adventure. What else do we do here? Well, what would a pirate ship be without booty? And oh my god, are you in for a treat today? We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. For now, though, I want to talk to you about the amazing month I've had competing in a challenge called the Dirty Dozen. Do you guys play a lot of video games? Play stuff on your phone? Play online? With your friends? What if you put it all away? Put it all away for an entire month and just played 12 NES games. Well, that's what me and a buddy of mine, Popo and Duck, that's his name. I guess he has a duck. His name's Popo. But apparently you gotta call him Popo and Duck. Otherwise he's just Popo. Me and him got together and said, you know what? Why don't we sit down with 12 old NES games for the entire month and just play those? The entire month of February, it's been 28 days, and today, my friends, is the final day. You know, and when I came up with the idea, it wasn't supposed to be a competition, but you know how humanity is. Humanity gets competitive. The next thing you know, a scoreboard's made. After that, an Olympics Day is announced. There's a final week recap to see where each player is advancing in each game. And finally, over the past 24 hours, scores have changed hands back and forth like mad. So here we are with about 6 hours left in the month. And the scores are pretty close. But unfortunately, I have to tell you, we're just a little bit behind. What kind of video games? Let me show you. Do you think you'd be able to play these for an entire month and nothing else? We got Cobra Triangle for the Nintendo. They're all Nintendo games. Boat racing, picking up hostages, killing sea monsters. Score-based game. I got somewhere around 700,000. Popo, he got around 800,000. He's got that one. Fester's Quest. Our friend Fester Adams from the Adams family travels around suburbia trying to fend off an alien invasion. Have I played this? Barely, not at all. Got completely lost. Popo grew up with it. Persevered, got all the way to the final boss. He definitely took that one. Legacy of the Wizard, an open world action RPG starring an entire family committed to taking care of an evil dragon who's terrorizing the kingdom. There's dungeons, there's pitfalls, there's monsters, there's labyrinths. It could not be a more challenging and hard to figure out game. There's 4 crowns that you have to track down for each of the family members before you can find the sword that will vanquish the dragon. How many crowns did Popo and I, over the course of the month, find? Absolutely none. Draw. Nobody win that. One Legacy of the Wizard. Mission Impossible, based off a 1988 reboot of the 1960s series Secret Agents. exotic places, you know, strange villains, and Mission Impossible, aptly named. Aptly named. We went into this not even being able to beat the first level after having the game for about 2 years. By the end of the month, we were able to beat the first level, and yet we're still stuck on the second level. Draw. Nobody took that one. Pinbot. Does it get If I have to hear the word Pinbot one more time after this month, don't get me started. Alright? It's pinball. Of course it's fun. It was a knockdown, drag-out brawl. Popo went crazy. He took it. 17 million to my 10 million. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, based off the 1993 movie, maybe? 91? When was that out? The Bryan Adams song? Kevin Costner, Morgan Freeman, what a great movie. And you know what? The game's not that bad, too. Fun adventure trying to save England, Nottingham, from the evil sheriff of Nottingham. Both of us managed to do so, and Mary made Marion. Draw. About halfway through the games, if you're wondering what the score is, Popo is ahead by 2. I'm counting that correctly. 2-0. Solstice for the NES. A labyrinth where you play a wizard who's armed with nothing but 4 different types of potions. Could not be more cryptic. It's isometric. You only get 3 lives. If you can pick up some credits along the way, but once you run out, it's game over. You start all over. Popo was able to explore 84 different rooms. I managed to explore 149. Raz. Star Tropics. As it says here, a test of island courage. You play Mike Jones, a 15-year-old boy with an obsession, well, maybe not obsession, but a talent for baseball. He decides to spend his summer vacation in the islands with his uncle, who happens to be a professor, an explorer, a scientist. But when he arrives, his uncle is mysteriously missing. Popo managed to get to Chapter 3. I managed to get to Chapter 5. Tiger Heli, an excellent shooter by Toaplan, makers of games like Truxton and Fire Shark. Basically, your typical vertical shooter, but a lot slower, more precision, more, choosing when to take down the enemy in this excellent shooter. I believe my high score in it was somewhere around 227,000. Popo's was somewhere around 264,000. He broke that one just last night. Track and Field 2. What a pain in the behind. 12 different events, 15 if you're counting the multiplayer only events. Lots of button mashing, lots of, talk about a workout for your arms. Talk about a workout. This is not the kind of game you can pop in for 2 hours and just bum around with. You would literally be exhausted trying to get through the campaign. Popo managed to make it through the qualifying of the first 3 days. I managed to make it through 4 of them. That one goes to me. Ultima Exodus. Oh my god. Ultima Exodus. An amazing, fantastic fantasy realm filled with monsters, wizards, fighters, anything you can think of. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff in this. You can go into deep dungeons. You can even get blood. We basically scored this by level of your highest character. I have registered a level 5 ranger. Popo has yet to register anything. Is he going to register something late and stab me in the final hour? Who knows? I guess we'll have to see. But for now, That one goes to me. And finally, arguably an NES classic, Wizards and Warriors. You play Kuros, hell-bent on defeating the evil wizard Malkill in a platformer of styles made by Rare. Great game, one of their best. The game was completed early, and the high score was 295,000 by Popo. My best score with it, which I just got maybe about an hour ago, was somewhere around 235. So it's been crazy. If we had to add that up, they're all over the floor now. Am I missing one? Why do I feel like I'm missing one? I guess we got them all, huh? I think that's it. The final tally right now as things stand, setting aside the draws, it comes down to Popo is ahead 5 games to 4. So what does that mean for us? That means that we have to take away 1 score from him in order to be victorious. Now, I spent the better part of the voyage getting out to the land of Ironsword, the woods of Elrond, just outside Castle Ironspire. I had Scabs take care of the navigating, basically run the ship, while I sat in here and crammed. I got all the way to Malkill, went live to record it, and I didn't get enough of the score. Now, I should have just not done that and done it live. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just so sure I was going to get the score. But then I realized, now that I had beaten him, we had no show. So I had to then, 2 hours before the show was over, before it was airtime, I had to speed run back through the entire game to, once again, where we're sitting, Castle Ironspire, to try and obtain 300,000 points. Now, right now, my character is sitting at 252,765 points. He has full health, but only 1 life left, and he finds himself in the final dungeon. Can we make enough points and stay alive long enough to make 300,000? I'm not sure. Meanwhile, we have a chest that's like overflowing, and of course your question. And we're already 15 minutes in. We're way behind. Let's give this whole thing a shot. Basically, we're going to go in there. We're going to try and get 50 grand or die trying. If we die, we'll press continue and then come back out to the booty chest. And let me tell you something. Don't miss the booty. It's huge this week. It's huge. Especially the end. Let's get started. It's Wizards and Warriors. Wizards and Warriors, the entire month of the Dirty Dozen hangs in the balance now, and you're going to see it right here in the game in Galleon. Let's get started. Okay, gameplay only. Leave my headphones on here. You guys should have gameplay audio. Oh, I'm stuck here. Please unstick me, please. Thank you. Turn this way down. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. I need 50 grand here. Here we go. I'm already being ambushed. We gotta pick up as much treasure as we can here and quickly. That was some meat. That was good. Keep grabbing. There's more meat. This guy's chasing us. Take them all out. Keep moving. Oh, that was a clock. That's good. Got a couple seconds breathing here before all the wraiths are back on us. The gargoyles. Red potion, I think that gives you additional strength. That guy won't let us through the red door there unless we give him 100 gems. We're at 260 grand. This spider is going to be a real problem. There we go. Gotta use my potion of levitation to jump up there. There we go. Oh god. Looking for magic doors, secret doors maybe. Filled with gems. 64,000. Oh my god, we got some meat there. We needed that. Yeah, another clock. Keep those clocks coming. Oh, high jump. Uh-oh. Whoa! Oh, that's the danger music. That's the danger music. I'm only got one hit left. Ah! Dang it. Alright, well, we're at 64 gems. I don't know. Are we ever going to make it to mail kill? I thought this was the last room before him. I don't know. Now I'm not even sure. Anyway, we got to come back anyway. Oh, let me get back to you. You're like, where'd the game go, dude? Look, we got a lot to get through, okay? We're already like 20 minutes in. I got to show you what's in the chest. I just have to. Okay? Then we'll try and make it to Malkill and get a score. And basically beat Wizards and Warriors. We have 3 deals here. Look. It's going to ramp up. And the ending is going to be amazing. So you're not going to want to miss the end. Alright. So last week, I'm in a small town. I'm on my way to Illinois. I'm getting out of a pawn shop. I back my car out on top of one of their signs. The sign says, "Please be careful when pulling out." It's a metal sign that's driven into the ground. It's clearly one of these ones that lights up. It's only about this tall from the ground. And I've knocked it over. What's my first instinct? I pull right out. I get about 100 feet and I think, dude, are you really trying to hit and run in a pawn shop? Do you realize how many cameras are in that parking lot? You better go back. Besides, you're not that guy. So, I find the first light, make a Yui, head back, walk in, say to the manager, look, I hit one of your signs out there. I'm like, man, these guys are gonna, what's the term I'm looking for? Roll me over the coal, drag me over the coals on this one, I say, yeah, I hit one of your signs. He's like, well, let's take a look. We walk out. I say, yeah, you see it there? It's on the ground there. He's like, oh, that sign? Oh, Snowplow did that last week. I'm sure it wasn't you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I hit a curb or something. He's like, don't worry about it. Get out of here. I'm like, see ya. I'm like wiping the red paint off the back of my car from the sign. And then I'm like, see you later. I get to I'm like, wow, talk about great luck. What else, what a great day. Then I pull up to my favorite game store here in this town, only to see big yellow signs saying going out of business. I walk in there and I'm like, what the heck happened? I was really mad. I was even using some colorful metaphors as I walked in. And they said, Neil, because they know me there, Neil, don't worry. Things are going to be okay. And I said, look at this place. When did this happen? They're like, oh, about a month ago. I'm like, all the inventory's gone. He's like, yeah, well, we've been having fire sales for the past 3 weeks. Now, after 3 weeks, everything in the store, including carts, is 60% off. And I'm like, well, that's terrible. I'm never going to see you guys again. And so he's like, no. Someone from Illinois is closing their store and decided to buy this one. So don't worry. And he's got his own inventory. So don't worry. We'll be back up and running. So I think to myself, this is amazing. What luck. I get the deals from a fire sale, but I'm not going to lose the store. So let's see what we picked up. Keep in mind, this place had been ransacked for a month, but they kept dropping discounts and discounts and discounts to 60 cents, 60% off all carts. We picked up the Menacer. This is the cartridge for the gun, for Sega Genesis's light gun. I mean, it's got the box. That was basic, and I just thought the box was so 90s. It says $3 here, 60% off. You do the math. What's that, around $1.40? $1.25? Here's a long box, beat up long box PlayStation game, Agile Warriors. It retailed for $6. That makes it around, $2.75 or something. It's got the manual here. There you go. Love those long box PlayStation games. Cabal for the NES. What a great game. They were asking $7 for it originally. So what does that mean? We got it for around $3 something. Namco Museum Volume 2. We're asking $20 for this. We got, so that works out to somewhere around $11. No, $9 for us. $8. This is a compilation of like 5 Namco games, and these discs are very hard to come by. This disc is worth much more than $20. I think on a good day, somewhere around $35. Okay. Spider-Man, Return of the Sinister Six. We had this, but our label is terrible. They were asking $10, $4 for a Spider-Man game. I'm in. Totally cool upgrade there. We'll probably trade in our own old one. I don't know about trading it. Probably give it to somebody. Transbot for the Master System. It's a shooter. I believe this was originally supposed to be a Transformers game. That kind of looks like Optimus Prime there, isn't he? Maybe Macross. Might have been a Macross, Battletech Macross game. They were asking $15 originally. So what's that? Somewhere around $7, $6, something like that. Dungeon Magic, an RPG. Doesn't have a price on it. I believe we got this for, but I think they were asking $6. So somewhere around, oh no, maybe 10. I think they were asking 10 on this. But the price fell off. So $4 on that. Terrible RPG, by the way. Terrible RPG. You want to talk about punishing RPGs? That's like the quintessential. But I couldn't leave an NES RPG behind. Some Game Boy games here. Extreme Sports, made by Way Forward. Here, this is a pretty cool cult classic. They were asking $4. What's that work out to? Around $280? $280, I think? Less than that. $180. Wow, I used to have this as a kid. WWF Superstars. This is great. Really happy to have this again. I haven't had this in years. $1.80 on that. John Madden Championship Football. They were asking $8 for this. We spent a whole $8 on a Madden game. Why? Well, this is really sad collector stuff. This was a Blockbuster exclusive. That's really the only reason. The prices were so low that even I could be more of a collector than just a hoarder on this day. For $2, the awesome Bad and Rad. Oh man, wait till we do a voyage on this game. It's a skateboarding game, right? That's all it is, right? Right? This is the greatest skateboarding game you're ever going to play. I'm telling you. You want to talk about adventure? I wish I could give you getting a better shot on it. There it is. Look at what he's doing. He's got choppers chasing him, and he's on a skateboard. And that's only the beginning. Trust me. That was $2, so that was around 80 cents. We just talked about this in a recent voyage. Billy Bob's Huntin' and Fishin', $4. I wasn't sure if we had it, but after talking about it recently, I was like, we have to have it. And this is the time to pick it up. So for $4, it works out to about $1.80. It's beat up here, but this is a pretty good version of Lock and Chase. They wanted $5, so what's that work out to? $2.50, maybe around $2.10, something like that. True Lies is really good on the SNES and Sega Genesis. I guess I was curious how the Game Boy one worked out. Who made it? LJN? I don't know. $6, so what's that work out to? Around $2.75. Battle Arena to Shinden on the Game Boy. Usually I associate this with PlayStation, but here it is in GBA form. I believe Takara brought this over. It's kind of cool. $3 on that, so $1.80. Okay. I mean, they just kept coming. You know, it was like, when are you going to find cart prices like this ever again? You know, not in a retail store. Not with the kind of selection they had, at least in the Game Boy. Driver, your Driver's really good on the Game Boy Color. We're going to give it a shot. $2.80 on that one. $1.80 on that one. Bomberman. You know Bomberman. Pocket Bomberman. $4, so $1.80 on that one. I bought this mainly because it said Natsume. It's one of these Rumble carts. They actually had those. Some of the Game Boy carts have Rumble features. This is did we really need a Rumble feature for a golf game? It's Hole-in-One Golf by Natsume. $3, $4. That works out to $1.80. Surf Ninja for the Game Boy, Game Gear game. The only Game Gear game we got. Why did we get this? It was $2, so it works out to 80 cents. Basically, we got this because if you didn't know, in the movie Surf Ninjas, they derive their power from the use of a Game Gear. Look it up on YouTube. Falling all over. But Warlocked, $8 they were asking for. We already have a copy. You'll notice there's a battery backup in there. That works out to somewhere around $3.75, $3.50. Basically, we got this because this is an RTS, and it actually has multiplayer. Who's gonna play that with me? Altered Space. Don't know much about this one. I believe this is like an isometric shooter. Altered Space. I like the look on the guy's face. I don't know if you can see it. He's got a couple of bug eyes. What was that? $5, so somewhere around $2.25. So that was it. We spent around $60 in there. Somewhere around $60. I know that's a lot, but how often is a store going to close on you like that? You know what I'm saying? So it was really great. We got the best of both worlds. We got fire sale prices, and that store's going to be back in business within the month. So we went for it. Second deal here. Me and Biz and Pat went to the Toy Pit about a month ago. And we found some good deals on some Nintendo games. There was this plastic bag in the front of the store behind glass. And I said, can I look in that bag? And it's all your basic, your basic hits. The Mario Brothers series. I don't know, some common stuff. I said, how much are these? And he's like, well, the Marios are somewhere around like $10, $15. I'm like, of course. But everything else is somewhere between $5 and $7. And I'm like, everything else is between $5 and $7? He's like, yeah. I said, even these two? He's like, yep. So for $5 each, we got a copy of Castlevania for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And, shockingly, Contra. Contra for $5? What are you, crazy? That's a pretty good deal. Then we go all the way to the back. I figured that's the only Nintendo games they must have. And lo and behold, they have a massive, massive tub of other Nintendo games. Most of the stuff common. But when I said, hey, if I get 5 of them, will you do 20? He said, yeah. I picked up some pretty choice titles. 2 of these I should not have grabbed. What were they? No, I guess just one, really. I didn't think I had this. That's the only reason I got it for $4. Volleyball. Anybody want a copy of Volleyball for the NES? $4, we got Jackal. Spare copy of Jackal. What a great game. What a great game. It's like Contra with Jeeps. One I just didn't have. Really, this was a good price for $4. It's usually more like a $10, $15 game. Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop. You know, we're just trying to pick up every NES game we can out there. $4, Double Dragon 2. Pretty killer. Can't go wrong there. And then finally, SNK's Guerrilla War. I didn't think we had this. Turned out we did. But that's okay. I'm going to send this over to my parents' place. We've got a little secondary Nintendo collection going on over there. It's like, it's like Card Warriors. You know. I haven't played this one very much, to be honest. The part looks... I mean, look at this guy. He's helping his buddy in the river. There's like a massive explosion going on behind him. I mean, don't tell me you don't want to play that with a friend. So those 5 we got for 20. Contra and Castlevania for another 10. So 7 of these seven NES games in total for $30. Alright, so we've seen some good stuff here today. But if you've been following the channel the past month, you probably heard me saying, this is going to be one crazy booty segment. Okay, now we've already seen a boatload of Game Boy games, stuff from all over the place for really rock bottom prices. We've seen Contra for $5, Castlevania for $5. But guys, that's just filler compared to what you're about to see. One bleak, cold Monday morning around 9 a.m. I happen to walk into a pawn shop. I'm looking around. I find a couple of anime DVDs. No big deal. Yu Yu Hakusho, season, 4 and 2. I was happy about that because we actually found 1 and 3 a week earlier in the same place. I said, how much are these? She says, I don't know. She asked the manager. The manager's like, it's just DVDs. She's like, all right, well, I'll just charge them for DVD price. We got these for 50 cents. She's ringing me up, 50 cents each. She's ringing me up. I said, oh, hey, by the way, whatever happened to that little red basket that you guys would put, like, Game Boy games into, DS games, little stuff, little video games? She said, I think that's in the back. She brings it out. And what's sitting on top of the basket? Four Super Nintendo games. Sitting in the basket, in the back room, for Lord knows how long. It's been weeks since I saw that basket. Sitting in there with a bunch of common stuff, typical stuff that's been sifted through time and time again. I said, wow, Super Nintendo games. Pretty cool. Now, in the pantheon of video games, finding video games in the wild, For me, it doesn't get better than Super Nintendo games. I think PlayStation 1 games are almost there with them, but you see those a lot. Super Nintendo games are something special because they're good, and you really don't see them that often. So I was like, okay, well, I know they're not going to charge me much. I mean, they're already charging me 50 cents for the DVD. It would stand to reason she's not going to charge me anymore for those games. So I look at the titles, and I said, so what are we doing on these? She said, 50 cents each. So including the DVDs and the 4 Super Nintendo games you are about to see, we walked out of there with a grand total of around $4.50. So, are you ready to see what 4 games just happen to be sitting in a random basket in a random pawn shop in the middle of Indianapolis, Indiana? Capcom's Breath of Fire, an RPG of sorts. Developed by Natsume, a well-loved looking copy of Lufia 2, Rise of the Sentinels, a very sought-after RPG. A game I've seen time and time again and never was willing to put down the money for it. Secret of Mana by Square. Now I'm showing these to you out of order. I'm not showing you them in the order that I found them. The final game I'm going to show you I found it second, but it's such an amazing find that even I had to play up the drama a little bit more and end with it. Ladies and gentlemen, for 50 cents, we found ourselves a copy of Earthbound. That's what it's all about, folks. $2. I hope I didn't oversell that. I have a feeling I didn't. For those of you who don't know much about Super Nintendo games, if I have to cheapen this and put a price tag on it, Earthbound, on a good day, is going to run you somewhere around $150 just for the card. How are we doing on time? How are we doing on time? Let's see. 6:50. So we started. Yeah, we've got about 10 minutes to play, maybe 15 minutes to play. The rest of Wizards and Warriors here. Our only hope at this point is to rush to try and find the evil wizard Malkill. And score 300 points. The only way we're going to score that kind of points, I don't know, is to beat him. Let's get started. Let's get started. Wish me luck, gang. I don't even know which way we're supposed to be going. We need to generate gems, right? Gosh, you know. Hey, what's that axe all about? Oh my god. This is not gonna happen. I need to find like a treasure chest full of gems. Get off me! Now at this point, it's really not a concern if we die. You know, the game is unlimited lives. It's unlimited continues. It's one of the better games to have for the NES because it's really just a kind of a casual romp. If you're not, you know, doing the stupid crap me and Popo were doing, scoring against each other, it's really a pretty traditional, fun romp. You know, you can take it easy and have a good time playing it, and not have to ever, you know, start from the beginning. You can, for the most part, you can. I don't think I can go up here. That's how I came in. Can we go this way? Nope. Ah! Oh my gosh. I don't. Where else do I go here? I got a red key, so I'll be able to get through the door, but I need like 20 gems to pay this punk off. Dude, are you serious? I must have left them all. Are you trying to tell me that I'm gonna have to get gems off all these guys? Because I didn't bother to get them when we fell down the pit? Dude, I was in a rush. I was trying to stay alive here. This sucks, guys. I'm so out of time. Why do the Ducks always win? Oh. My only hope is one of these guys drops a pink potion. Give me a potion. Oh man. And you know, and this is when the adventure comes to a screeching halt. Ah! We're supposed to be fighting a wizard here. Come on. Give me a pink potion. Yeah, great food. That's exactly what I don't need. I can't believe this. See, I don't even care that they're hitting me at this point, you know. Because... yeah, great. 12 more. 12 more. Ah! Do not have time for this. How are we doing on time? 14 minutes left in the voyage? That's not good. 90. And how much you want to bet? Oh! Oh! Oh, I can't even get up there. I'm just gonna have to keep frying guys. Oh, I would have been so mad if that was a pink potion. Alright, we're at 96. Okay. almost there. 2 more gems, please. 2 more gems, please. Maybe this guy will negotiate. Can you round it down, brah? Come on, I'm at 98. What a stickler. Ah. Come on. That must be 100. Alright, we're out of here. Alright, here we go. You guys ready? Let's do this. I can't reach him. This is gonna take a little longer than usual. Oh, do we really gotta... That... I'm out of health. I'm out of health. I can't die. I need these points. Guys, I'm sorry about the music. This is what happens when you're about to die in this game. It does this music. I mean, isn't this torture enough? How are we doing on time? We got 12 minutes. We should be able to handle this. Come on, Malkill. Come on, Malkill. Just take it. Take it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Come on, baby. Time isn't an issue. There's still a chance that we've got enough gems and enough points on us to break 300 grand. 200 grand. Did I say 300? Yeah, 300 grand. That's right. I think. Yeah, because Malkill is going to give us a lot of points. The gems are going to give us a lot of points. He's only got 5 hit points left. Come on, Malkill. Come on out. Come on out! Ah! Ah! Almost! Ah! Ah! Stop going up there! Don't go all the way out there, though. I can't reach you. Man, if I had a wand... All I have is... I don't have the wand. All I can do is kick him. Yeah, I've got the boots of force. One more volley, though. We should have him. Yeah! Kill the ghost! Oh my god, we had 1 hit point left. Alright, guys. 73,000. Now it's just an issue going through the door and checking in. On the bright side, we saved the day. And for what it's worth, I'm so glad you guys were all with me for this one moment. This is it. This is... It all comes... The Dirty Dozen all comes down to this moment. Either Popo's score stays and he owns Wizards and Warriors, keeping him at 5 games to my 4. Or I manage to have enough points to surpass his 300,000. Technically 295,000. Take Wizards and Warriors from him and shift the score in my favor. Let's do this. I got my gems. 104. How much did she give us? 100 grand! No! 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 Damn you, Popo. Damn you, Popo. Rough. Well, that's it, my friends. That's it. It came down to 50,000 points. 50,000 points. And that's it. I don't know. Guess we're going to have to give it to our good friend Popo. By the skin of his teeth, by the skin of his duck's butt, he took it. I can't think of a better guy to win. Congratulations, buddy. But don't ever think this pirate can't give you a run for your money. That's for sure. All right. Who's up for a little mail, huh? What do we got? Back here we got the mailbag. The bag that tells no tales. Where you find people out there, send me a letter. Take the floor. And put me on the spot. This one comes all the way from Australia. How about that, huh? The other side of the world. At least as far as Indianapolis is concerned. I'm not sure where the Woods of Elrond and Castle Ironspire come into play. This one comes from Antelope84, a good friend of ours. He asks, okay, Raz, the world will end and implode unless you allow a genie to magically banish Popo physically into one of the Dirty Dozen games for 24 hours. He will be living in the game and in the video game world. Which do you banish him into? Well, he'd probably say... I'm back here looking at the Dirty Dozen here. He'd probably want Pinbot, so you could just play Pinbot for an entire day. But look, he's going to be able to do that anywhere. The month is up. He can play whatever he wants. He can go to a local bar that has Pinbot and play it. Why would we set him out there? Fester's Quest, sure he likes it. There's aliens, but it's just a suburb. Doesn't sound like too much fun to me. Star Tropics, I mean, who wouldn't enjoy a little island adventure? But I think if I know Popo, if I really wanted to give the man what he wanted, I'd probably send him into Ultima. I mean, think about living in the world of Ultima Exodus. Monsters around every corner, or calm little hamlets to relax in. There's even gambling in Ultima. He could develop a gambling habit. The whole 24 hours thing, he's gonna want to stay longer than that. That's for sure. I think I'd want to give my buddy what he wants. I'd stick him in Ultima. He's going to be like, screw that, Cobra Triangle. Ultima, you know, he could have a relaxing day or he could have high adventure. It's up to him in Ultima. So we'll stick him in there. Thanks for the question, Antelope. I appreciate it. If you have a question for the Gaming Galleon, please whisper it to me on Twitch. Email it at gaminggalleon@gmail.com, or just chat it to me. Usually, if it's a cool enough question, I'll copy and paste it and tuck it away somewhere so it can find its way in to the bag that tells no tales. All right, gang, that's it. As we wrap up this long month, this 28 days featuring 12 games, I just want to thank everybody for their patience, their jeers, their cheers, and their presence above all. It's just not the same if you do something like this and no one's watching and no one's chatting about it. So thanks a lot for that. And I of course want to thank my compatriot Popo and Duck. You know, it's easy to climb Everest, but it's easier with someone else. It's easy to climb Everest? What am I talking about? It's a complete pain in the ass. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just saying, you know, it's always more fun to share an experience with somebody, and I think this is, I think we accomplished what we wanted to here. We went into this thinking about the games of old that we grew up with, the games that will always stick in our heads, whether some people, you know, turn their nose up at certain titles. We grew up with them. So in our minds, you know, they're cherished titles, warts and all. I think that Popo and I are going to look back at these 12 games, and maybe some of you out there are going to look back at these 12 games and think, you know, there's something special about those games now. They mean something to me, you know? And, I mean, what could be better than that, huh? Alright, we're going to leave it there. I want to thank you for joining me in defeating the evil wizard Malkill deep within Castle Ironspire. I encourage you to keep your imagination running and make sure no one takes it away from you. Okay? It's yours. Use it. So until next time, my friends, I want to do to ye fair Spanish maidens, I want to do ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to dirty a dozen, and lo, nevermore shall we see ye again. Look at this coffee. Oh. Tastes terrible. Keep your powder dry, ladies.